Well, there is a woman over the weekend who took it upon herself to research my family history in hopes of digging up some kind of a gotcha moment, a gotcha angle to validate illegal immigration and open borders. And what she found was really shocking, guys. She found that my family who came here in the 1800s from Norway and Germany, that they spoke Norwegian and German.
Okay.
And really what she did is prove that my family came here.
Daytime TV is no stranger to drama, but every now and then a clash erupts that becomes the talk of the town. This was the case when conservative commentator Tomi Lahren faced off against The View co-host Sunny Hostin. What began as a discussion on immigration policies quickly spiraled into a heated exchange, touching on ancestry, hypocrisy, and the deeper question of what defines being American.
The idea that immigrants come over here and they don't know anything and they're dragging us down, because we all come from immigrants, including you, Tomi Lahren.
She talks about low skills. What exactly are her skills?
Her second great-grandmother had been here for 10 years, yet spoke no English. Oh my gosh. 1930 census says Tommy's 3 times great-grandmother had been here for 41 years and still spoke German. She didn't speak English.
Before we get into the details, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you're always in the loop on the latest Hollywood news and fiery debates. Let's set the scene. Tomi Lahren is well known for her no-nonsense, outspoken opinions on immigration. A staunch supporter of merit-based immigration, she's built her reputation on advocating for strict adherence to legal processes, a stance that's made her a divisive figure in political circles. On the other side, Sunny Hostin has long championed a more empathetic view of immigration, often challenging conservative perspectives. It seemed inevitable that these two would eventually clash. The spark came when Hostin, inspired by Ancestry research, delved into Lahren's family history to make her case. She highlighted that Lahren's ancestors, who arrived from Norway and Germany in the 1800s, didn't speak English for years after settling in the U.S. This, Hostin argued, undermined Lahren's modern stance on immigration and exposed a potential contradiction. What could have been a reasoned debate, however, quickly escalated into an emotional showdown. True to form, Lahren stood her ground and didn't shy away from the confrontation.
Well, there is a woman over the weekend who took it upon herself to research my family history in hopes of digging up some kind of a gotcha moment, a gotcha angle to validate illegal immigration and open borders. And what she found was really shocking, guys. She found that my family who came here in the 1800s from Norway and Germany, that they spoke Norwegian and German.
Okay.
And really what she did is prove that my family came here
Tomi Lahren didn't shy away from the personal nature of the attack. Instead, she used it as fuel to reinforce her position. She pointed out that her ancestors adhered to the legal immigration process and built their lives without relying on government aid, something she views as a critical difference between immigration then and now. No matter where you stand on the issue, it's hard to deny Lahren's composure during the exchange. The moment Sunny Hostin brought up Lahren's family history, it was clear this had shifted from a debate on policy to a pointed personal critique. Hostin wasn't just questioning ideas anymore. She was taking aim at Lahren herself. Reactions were split. While some praised Hostin for calling out what they saw as a contradiction in Lahren's stance, others criticized the move as a cheap shot that sidestepped the real conversation: how to effectively tackle today's immigration challenges.
And for them to go that deep in your background, you have gotten under their skin to a level I didn't think was possible. What is it about you that bothers them so much?
Well, it's not just me, it's anybody who advocates for merit-based immigration or has an issue with open borders. And again, just like you said, they don't seem to understand that we on the right believe in immigration.
The debate shifted focus to whether immigration today can truly be compared to that of the 1800s. At first glance, the parallels seem obvious: people seeking better lives in a new land. However, as Lahren argued, immigration in the 19th century was a completely different landscape. Back then, it was largely unregulated, with individuals arriving to claim land and carve out a future. In contrast, today's immigration is far more complex. governed by laws, security considerations, and the realities of a modern welfare system. Comparing the two, she said, is like comparing apples to oranges. This fundamental disagreement became the crux of their fiery exchange. For Hostin, highlighting that Lahren's ancestors didn't immediately assimilate was a way to show that cultural integration has always been a gradual process. For Lahren, however, it reinforced her belief that her family played by the rules and built their lives without relying on government assistance, a distinction she sees as critical in the current immigration debate. Ultimately, this clash reflects a deeper divide in how Americans view immigration, shaped by history, identity, and political beliefs.
I do believe that the immigration crisis of today is apples to oranges from what it was in the 1800s when immigrants came to this country legally, were documented, worked for themselves, asked for nothing, and built a life and a family. That has nothing to do with the illegal immigration crisis of today that we must deal with.
Don't mistake this for a simple policy debate. Sunny Hostin's move took the exchange to a whole new level of drama and division. By bringing up Tomi Lahren's great-great-grandmother, Hostin wasn't just challenging her policy stance. She was calling her credibility and integrity into question. Discussing ideas is one thing, but digging into someone's ancestry to score a political point? That's a bold play. Lahren, however, didn't just defend her family's history. She turned the tables with grace and wit. She joked about Hostin's skills as an amateur genealogist, using humor to diffuse the tension. Rather than letting the attack weaken her, Lahren seized the moment to energize her supporters. The fallout was immediate and polarizing, with social media erupting in a frenzy of opinions. Some hailed Hostin's research as a smart way to highlight contradictions, while others criticized it as a desperate and personal attack. Reflecting on her past controversies, Lahren once shared how her outspoken views led to her losing a job at a conservative network after she expressed pro-choice sentiments, a perspective rooted in her belief in limited government. "I'm not pro-abortion," she clarified, "but I've always been about limited government." It's a principle that continues to define her, even amid fiery debates like this one.
I lost my job at a conservative network because I said I was pro-choice. That's a big no-no. It was a big no-no. I offended the community. I went on The View and I said just a point a feeling that I've had for a long time. I'm very limited government. That's just me. I'm not pro-abortion. I'm just very limited government. That's my perspective on a lot of things. And I lost my job at a conservative network for that.
How did you know you lost your job? What did that look like? So you go on The View, you say this, and then what happened?
Then they told me, don't come back on Monday to do your show. You're suspended indefinitely. That's how it was.
Were you shocked? Were you like, oh, this makes sense?
No, I was shocked. And that's why the lawsuit ensued. I have a view that some conservatives still to this day take a real issue with, and they tell me I'm not a real conservative or this or that. It's on both sides.
Meanwhile, The View found itself navigating a challenging situation. While Sunny Hostin's perspective resonated with viewers who shared her beliefs, it sparked debate about the show's tone. Known for lively discussions, this particular exchange blurred the line between robust political discourse and personal attacks. Critiquing someone's ideas is one thing, but using their family history as ammunition? That's an entirely different ballgame. As the dust settled, attention shifted back to the core issue: immigration policy. Lahren reiterated that her stance isn't about rejecting immigrants, but about upholding the law. She emphasized the distinction between those who follow the legal process and those who enter the country unlawfully, a nuance often overlooked in political debates. Her ability to maintain focus and articulate her argument, even under personal scrutiny, highlighted her skill as a debater. Hostin, on the other hand, defended her decision to bring up Lahren's ancestry, framing it as a way to underscore the complexities of immigration. However, by zeroing in on Lahren's family history, Hostin may have inadvertently strengthened Lahren's position, allowing her to turn the critique into a rallying point for her supporters. This clash wasn't solely about immigration. It reflected the broader cultural and political divisions shaping America today. On one side are those who view immigration as a fundamental part of the country's identity, advocating for compassion and inclusivity. On the other are those who stress strict enforcement and a merit-based system centered on self-reliance.
Provide them with DNA, 23andMe, because I cannot believe the detail on your background that they were able to get.
Well, I don't have to. She did all the research for me, so I'm sure my family is very appreciative.
What about Joy saying, though, what are your skills? It's beyond research. It is personal. It is mean.
Well, of course, this is classical Joy Behar, but I would like to ask Joy Behar what her skills are, because perhaps we could swap stories. I know I watched Joy, and she seems like a highly skilled lady, but for her to attack me, that's really interesting. Those in glass houses should not throw stones.
The irony here is that both sides likely share more common ground than they might admit. Both Lahren and Hostin acknowledge the significant contributions immigrants have made to America. They also agree on the importance of cultural integration and assimilation, even if their approaches differ. At their core, both are advocating for what they believe is best for the country. Yet, in the heat of live television, those shared values often get overshadowed by the drama and theatrics. Ultimately, this wasn't just a clash over immigration policies. It was a vivid example of how personal politics have become. When debates move away from ideas and focus on individuals, the stakes feel higher, and the tension cuts deeper. Whether you're siding with Lahren or Hostin, one thing is clear: this debate is far from settled. It also highlights how daytime TV can still ignite conversations that resonate beyond the screen. So, what's your take? Is it fair to bring personal history into political debates, or did this exchange cross a line? One thing's for sure: genealogy has never been this controversial or entertaining. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.